Thank you for coming, everyone. Welcome to the first annual Black Unity Coalition Day of Action and Unity. Today is going to be a very special day. We have a lot of entertainment, especially by our friend Ingrid Poole. Yay! Our guest speaker today. We have a young leader. Her name is Leslie Black. And the man of the hour, Mr. John Shabazz. We're going to go ahead and get started. Ingrid's going to go ahead and sing the Pledge of Allegiance. The Pledge of Allegiance. Oh, I'm sorry, Black National Anthem. Sorry about that.
Okay.
Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise high as the listening skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Let us march on till victory is won. Now y'all sing with me now. Quit looking at me. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Y'all sound good? Let our rejoicing rise high as the lifting skies. Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the faith that the dark past has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Facing the rising sun of our new day begun. Blow it out. Let us march on like you've been throwing down. Till victory is won. Give yourself a hand. You know you're gonna sing it, baby.
Okay, everybody will please remain standing. We're going to do our Pledge of Allegiance. And if you don't have a paper, and Bishop Young Mind got some right there. And since we don't have a flag, we're going to use our red, black, and green African.
Yeah.
That's right. How about that? Begin. We pledge allegiance to the red, black, and green, our flag, the symbol of eternal struggle, and to the land we must obtain. One nation of black people with one God of us all, totally united in the struggle for black love, black freedom, and self-determination. There we go. Thank you guys very much. Right now, I would like to call up Miss Amanda Copeland. She is the founder of Ambitious Young Minds, which is a group of young ladies out of Fairmont, West Virginia that gave up their time today to come and be with us.
So I'm here today to represent these young females out here. Why? Because I believe young females right here need to be uplifted, be encouraged, and all they need is a little bit of motivation. So why not start small? So I began with my friend back here, and best friend named Netta, and she came up with the name Ambitious Young Minds. We ran with it. All right. And just the up name, Ambitious Young Minds. Aim for the high, aim for the sky, aim for anything you're going for, just aim for it. AYM. Woo! All right. AYM, aim high for everything. Our mission is to, I don't want to make anybody upset or anything, but our mission is, Ambitious Young Minds is what the letter AYM represents. Our goal is here to encourage young females from ages 12 to 17 to aim high at what our goals and what they are trying to reach in the future. Myself, Amanda Copeland, along with the AYM staff, have found a means to encourage young females and means to start this nonprofit organization to motivate, build self-esteem, improve self-image, along with general life skills, housework, general things like that. We as AYM staff want to make sure that all females know that there is help out here and don't be afraid to ask. There's nowhere but up. So I'm here with all my preteens and teenagers to aim high and reach for their goals. Our activities and goals are, the goals we are here to mentor. Not only that, we are here to reach them. By one, first step, having a mentor. 2, respect of self and others. 3, give back to the community. 4, learn organization skills and study skills. 5, learn how to balance a budget. 6, an open forum for young females to discuss embarrassing issues. Number 6, learn how to have healthy lifestyles, including eating various forms of exercising and staying active. Main focus is to educate, believe, and aim.
All right.
Come check us out at the table. Come get a cupcake, get some gum.
Okay, right now, for all the little kids, as the kids are here, go to the AYM table and put your name on the back of a ticket, because we're going to have a drawing for a prize. Okay? They're really good.
first time, so. Okay. Yeah. Got the young, the young kids.
Oh, they like it. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Hey, Kenny. Hello, baby. Come on.
Did you hear me sneezing? I did. Oh, please don't. I'll edit that one. You don't think it. You are so jacked up. You know that. Tell him your name. You can talk to me. Yeah, whatever kind of you want. Aww. Is he cute? He is. Wow, we don't get it. Did you get you one? Don't you want to put your name in there so you go to cry? Did you put your name on it? Oh, you already did. You want a cupcake? Get one. Help yourself. Get a napkin.
Oh, that's a little.
Thank you so much.
Get rid of that.
How are you guys doing? What's your name? Brianna, what's your name? What's your name? What? I'm Brianna. What? Yeah. Like, ambitious young mind. You guys ready to do a drawing or something?
Hey, Julie, hold it.
Let it go come up here and do the drawing.
Top of this camera, right? What up?
Sharon? Who is it S-A-R-I-N? C-A-R-I-N?
Sierra.
C-A-R-I-N.
Who is that? You win! Get the basket. All right, so she's birthday.
All right.
Congratulations, baby. Come here. You win the Easter basket. All right, congratulations. You're welcome. It's all yours. Thank you. Okay, you guys. Now we have the lady of the hour, Miss Amy Hart.
I want to be able to introduce a good friend of mine. She's a comrade, queen sister, and she's been on the field for a long time civil rights activist in the Morgantown, Fairmont area. I wanted to say power to the people, power to the grassroots. It is my honor to introduce my good friend and sister, longtime activist, Miss Amy Parks.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
And how are you?
I'm good. We're good.
All right, all right. Let's start by telling you a little bit about Amy Parks and how I happen to be here today as a tribute and a favor to my friend and to all of you. Most of you have seen me or know me. All don't know me. My name is Amy Parks, and I'm a warrior. Yeah, I'm in the retirement. I'm coming out. And I've been around for a while. Not only have I worked in the Fairmont Morgantown area, I have worked all over the state of West Virginia, traveled national and international. I was one of the 50 who was, when they had our hostages in Iran, I was one of the 50 who went to Iran and had a chance to negotiate with the Iranian committee over there. So that was my international travel, and that was a very exciting and a very educational trip. I'd like to also tell you, I am a mother of 6 children. Some of you in this room know them very well. And have lived in Fairmont most of my life, and I live in a community called Chesapeake. I also am a church member. My church is at Welcome Baptist. And I have worked on things like, national things like, we had our own organization, which was the Welfare Rights Organization. And anybody know when you're on a committee, sometimes you have arms and legs. And you grow, and you go here, and you go there, and you go to this committee. So I have worked legal service. I have worked welfare, legal service, health, and just about name them all, including civil rights and unemployment and anything to go along with it. Now that's Amy. I haven't done anything actively because I went in retirement. I was out there for a long time trying to help anybody that could. Not only black, white, and have had a few Hispanics. And the story goes on. But internationally and nationally, I was able to go to the White House when Andy Young was there. I remember sitting in his chair. And so, you know, the problems aren't new. The problems that we have nowadays are not new. We just got our works to do all over again. And when I say about works, we're going to have to start in the trenches, and we got all of it to do all over again. My material I have put together is not to offend anyone in the room. But fact is fact. And real is real. And statistics talk.
Right.
So that's where we are today. There's nothing new in the world. It just makes a circle. It just makes a circle. We just keep going around and round and round. But I want everybody to know in this room, we as black people, and this is what this is about, this is a Black Unity Day.
Right.
Now, I don't want nobody to get offended in here, because when you got a cause, you got a cause, and you work towards your cause. Because you know if you put anything in there sometime, we got a tendency to get finished. I have a white daughter-in-law, I have a white grandchild, and you won't have to go too far back to get my grandparents, which is a white family over there. But I'm a black activist. I'm a black activist through and through. Anybody know me? I am black. I was born black. My issues are black.
Right.
First. Now I know how to sit down with anybody. You got to be polite to anybody. Okay? If they do the respect, you got to give them their respect. Okay? Now we know we got families. We're growing in West Virginia. But let me tell you at whose expense you're growing. Okay? There's nothing new about West Virginia to me. I have been over West Virginia. The issues now are returning. They're denying. A lot of them say, well, you know I'm not prejudiced. But let me tell you, those hill runners that I used to know, and they were before me, they're all gone. Now who carrying it on? They used to say, oh, that boy up in the hills. Them boys up in the hills starting all our trouble. You know, they're the ones. Not so. Those old farmers is going, and those other people that give us our problem have given us our problem, because I am a West Virginian. I am a West Virginian. So being able to travel around the state and knowing that the people that made up our government made the laws of West Virginia, and those people are traveling, they're dead, and they're going on. Now who's carrying on the struggle? You get people coming from out of other states. They come into our state. They didn't do it in their state. But when they came into our state of West Virginia, guess what? They adopted the same thing that these people here in West Virginia had going on. The old ones now. I want you young people to wake up. The ones that can understand what I'm saying. It has not always been like it is now. You got a programming going on now that there's no racism in West Virginia. That is not so. First, we had to go around the state to prove that there was black people in our state. They was going around town. Ain't nobody, no black people in West Virginia. Come on now. Anybody know history? Soon as you say West Virginia, oh, they think we're on the west side of Virginia. There's two different states. And that's the first thing you have to know. Who am I? I am a West Virginian. If you got to be here, you got to know the facts of West Virginia. They don't change. Some things are just benign. We have people coming back into our state now. But they're not the cause. But remember, when they come back, we have to educate those people on who we are. If we lay down and we take what they got to offer, then we did it ourselves. So I'm going to bear in mind, I'm going to give you a little statistics, but I don't want you to get bored behind, because sometimes when you're giving out statistics, people got a way of kind of, want to get stuck and don't want to listen. But the reason we have problems today is because we don't want to listen. Now, our job is not us. Our job is, see these little people in this room? And I hope they hear what I'm saying. First, they need to know they're West Virginia and who they are. Whether they be black or white, yellow or red, they are West Virginia. Now, don't you like the people come over here and any of y'all in the city, you get on the bus, you can't understand nothing that these two people saying. You know why? Because they talking their own language. But we're West Virginians. So we got to learn the lingo of West Virginia and who we are. We are somebody. We may be hill runners, we may be the hillbillies, we may be, but we still West Virginia. We on one accord. We're supposed to be on one accord. Now let me tell you what some of the people that think that they can control the environment. See, first they don't want to believe ain't no blacks in West Virginia. And then I know they wonder, why do we take what they give out? Take our penitentiaries. Let's start with a little bit of documentation. I want you all to listen, they can understand what I'm saying. America and its new slavery, black men in prison. The Constitution, 13th Amendment, ratified in 1865, abolished slavery in the United States, okay? But provide an exception in certain cases where persons have been duly convicted in the United States. And territorially, it's controlled. Slavery or involuntary servitude can be reimposed as a punishment. A new American slave trade is booming. This outlines the outrageous numbers of young men in prison and increasing numbers of adults undergoing incarceration. The slave trade is connected to money. States spend to keep people locked up. Profits made through cheap prison labor and for profit. Prisons exceedingly charge families and inmates to pay for everything from tube socks to cell phones. Tube socks to cell phones. Prisoners pay for everything they get. Now remember, we must also remember that some of our prisons are privatized in West Virginia. That means once you get in that penitentiary, you do something, if you're under privacy, then you ain't like you're under the federal government. And the people make the choice. But now if you go private, you see what you got? If that man do something in a private prison, he's recycled. He keeps going. Time and time and time. He can recycle him when he get ready. That's going back to the old tradition that we had. And so, 1 to 9 black men between the ages of 20 and 34 are incarcerated compared to 1 to 30 other men at the same age. Any of y'all been in prison, you know that this is what they do. Black men go to prison for whatever he do. If he ain't got a friend downtown, he ain't got to work it out somehow, that if you tell me on Sam, Bill, or Joe, then you have to go to prison. But if you work for me, and we know that's true, you work for me, then I'll let you out. I'll make it good on you. That's what they say. I'll make it good for you. Again, former raping our man's head. But let's go back, finish. American New Slavery, more than 1/3 of people behind bars in West Virginia are blacks. And remember that blacks make up only 3% of the population here in West Virginia. Now that's one thing I want you sisters and brothers to be aware of. We're only 3% of West Virginia. Okay? What can 3% do? But we're supposed to be sticking together. Is that happening? I don't think so. Look in your city. Look in your communities. Look in your churches. What do you see? Where's our man? Okay? Now, I was taught, and my daddy never dealt with chickens. All y'all know what a chicken is, raise your hand. A real chicken, not the chicken in the store.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody done seen chicken. Okay? Now, how many roosters is usually with all the hens?
1.
Okay, 1, 2. Taking care of all them hens. Taking all care of all them hens, okay? So now, when they put them in the penitentiary where they are, what do you have? Genocide, maybe? Is that what they call it?
Yep.
Is that what they call it, genocide?
Yep.
Because can you produce if you're in the penitentiary? Okay, they do tell a story about now a man is having a baby. But I like to be on that team to discussing that. I was taught differently. Okay? So now, genocide, is we know, for those in penitentiary, our black men are locked up. There's no reproduction going on, and they know it. There is no reproduction. If you don't have reproduction, what do you have?
Yes.
And what does genocide mean?
Death.
Come on now. Come on, the disappearing of your people. Have you looked around lately in some of your communities? Have you looked in some of your churches? Have you looked in your schools? They closed down schools because there was not enough blacks to go into them. I want you parents to be aware, and female and black male to be aware that genocide is taking place. Because women, and we doing our job, believe it or not, I come through with 6 kids, and I know I had to do them by myself. Women can only do so much, black male, black female, and I do not want anybody in this room to get mad with me. But the only way a race can be produced is first you got to have your own. You may get a fragment of anything else going on, but the most of them must be done by who you are. You must follow the rules that where God laid it down. I didn't. Okay? So now let's finish on.
Jesus.
In 10 years, the black portions of people behind bars had jumped more than 10%. Now this back in 2000. They didn't open up 7 prisoners in West Virginia since then. 7. Who you think going in those prisons? Not only are men, so is our women. Do you know women leading it now? Okay, women. Again, are we not talking about genocide? 10%. Now listen to me. Of the 10,505 people in prison in West Virginia, go check my documentation, you'll find out I'm telling the truth. 3,663 are black. Okay? The rate is even higher among black women who make up nearly 44. You women better listen to me. You keep your goals, girls. You're going to need them. I swear you're going to need those goals. 44% of the state incarcerated females. They even come, you know where the big time people in the city come from? When they doing their dirt, you know where they send them to? Where they send them? Come on, talk, girl. You better hear me, they send them to West Virginia. They got a private prisoners. Go back to them private prisoners they got here. Who you think in them? Okay? The high incarceration of blacks has to do with racial profiling of poor black people. Racial profiling has been a hot bottom in American politics. Blacks accused of authorities of targeting based on color. On color. And I want y'all to remember, all of y'all think you got it going on, I want you to listen to these statistics and know where we are as a race of people today. And I'm going to go on, and you're going to be shocked when I get through with you all today. Police focus on more attention to a certain area due to the war on drugs. We already know what drugs is doing. We're losing the fast and frightening over drugs. You know, that's one of the leading things that's killing our people right now. And I want you all to bear in mind that these are the things not only happen on a national level, they happen in here in West Virginia. Big time. That's on our black men, black women. Let me tell you about black marriages. I bet you in the whole state of West Virginia, you don't have 12 to 15 12 to 15 black men and women marrying each other. I want nobody to get offended in this room again. I don't want nobody to get offended because fact is fact. And we got to deal with it. Fact. Now back to where we are now. Remember the word genocide? And remember about your race decreasing. I want y'all to bear in mind, because everything I'm telling you, they're going to tie you with one thing or another. Listen to this, black marriages. Black women are the least likely to marry. The black marriage rate fell from 1970 to 2001 to 34%. Oh, what was the black men going around doing us, calling us? Their hoe.
Yeah.
My hoe. You young women, I want you to listen to me. My hoe. We haven't outgrew that yet. You know, my hoe. Nobody get offended. Nobody in this room to get offended because we fact. And this is what they told me this meeting was about today. Okay? By the age of 30, only 52 black women will marry. 52% of black women will be married. That means 48% will marry. But the others will not marry. They don't have nobody to marry. Okay? 32% of those women will get married again within 5 years of a divorce. That wasn't none of me. I divorced, but I didn't marry 5 years. I've never been married again. I did it one time.
Me too.
But see, you know we're going through crisis. And my thing too is, as our songs say, women, you just got to stand. S-T-A-N-D. God works it out somehow. And I am a Christian woman. I believe God works it out somehow. We know for a fact, even these young kids know about Japan. There was men, women, and children went into those grounds and still there. They've been in tune. God will work it out. Hold on. Say hold on, women.
Hold on.
Because he'll work it out. We got one God. There's no black, white, yellow, red, and brown God. We got one God. And I have to say something about my Creator. Because I know he will work it out somehow. So just hold on. Now, for the rest of the statistics on this one is, for whites, that figure is 58% and 44% for Hispanic women. The black family has crumbled more in the last 30 years than in 14 decades. I want y'all to listen to these facts. Because these facts are true. The black family, okay. Problem is that the impact of racist system that disproportionately penalize black boys and girls, black brides and black grooms. The economic disparity between the black community and the white community is growing. Now we headed back to racism again. If you notice, we headed back over there again to be into segregation. If you look around the community, you remember in this town and in Fairmont, I know they had one, I want you mothers to remember, they had one daycare. You went to that one place. Now, am I right when they're telling you now you're back in your own true community with your daycare? Where's daycare now? Back in your community, or is it all still all over? But can you go all over?
Both. They got facilities, but I think more people would rather have them at people's houses.
Okay,
So,
at the home.
Yeah.
Okay, we're talking overall. Okay. Unemployment rate in black America is higher today than it was during Martin Luther King's speech. 81% of them and 10.4% now. So we have really changed in Where are we going as a black family? And if you know one thing, God made a black family first. Before he did anything else to us, he made us. And he made that black family as well as he made yellow, red, and a black family. But we have to take care of our own. We got to remember to take care of our own. Because if you don't take it, the Bible tells you, a man that doesn't take care of his family is worse than an infidel. So that means we got to take care of each other. That's like the Christian family or any family you're in. You got to take care of your family. And that's not what we're doing right now. And only because there is people higher than people in the room. The bottom of the echelon, they know what's going on. There's people out there that bouncing that pencil, that bouncing the pencil at midnight and telling us how they're going to deal with us. How they going to lower the population? How they going to cut welfare and health care and all of this? Those that are voting, vote wisely when you vote. Know what you're voting for. Health care, welfare. And I don't care what you say. You may turn your nose at welfare, but welfare going to be here as long as men don't take care of their families. As long as a black female is not going to marry. Because those children going to come one way or the other. So that's fact for that. And I'm going to give you a fact on the Hispanic. And I want you to listen to what black families is going on with the Hispanics. Hispanics now outnumber African Americans for the first time in the United States metropolitan area. Shifting the politics and racial dynamics in the city once dominated by whites and blacks. Census figure released Thursday, highlighted the growing diversity of the nation's 366 metropolitan areas, which were home to a record 83.7% share of the United States population. The number from 2010 count are already having a big effect on residents from districting in many states where district boundaries lie are being redrawn based on population size and racial makeup. That's just what I'm telling you. There's things going on because families are now downsizing. And there's things that going on where you vote now. A lot of these voting areas ain't going to be there. They're losing votes everywhere they go because they're either shifting over here or shifting over there. So that's what's taking place. Hispanic become the largest majority in 191 metropolitan areas last year. Their population lifted higher as blacks left many economical hard-hit cities and north for the south, and new Latino immigrants spread to different parts of the country. Black people, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. You know when you talk about Detroit, everybody know what happened in Detroit and some of these other big cities that now that they have to leave their city because there was no jobs. There's no jobs there. And there's nothing there. So they come to states like West Virginia. And that's why I want to give you the statistics on West Virginia. You got to be careful. They come in here. You know, you got the FBI. Let's take it for instance. Do you know what color most of the people were working at the FBI in Washington, D.C.? They had a very large population. Most of them worked in D.C. That was what they call a chocolate city. But now, check the statistics here in Clarksburg and see what you get. See what you get. I'm not saying anything I'm trying to hide. What I say it again. Look at it. Where was those black people? They came and they went. You know, they say socialization or whatever the reason. They told me they didn't like the clientele here. They didn't like what was going on. So they headed them back to the city, cut and pack, and left back out of here. That's what's going on in West Virginia. Now you got to be careful when they come and people visiting our cities and coming and living here, what is going on in our cities. That we're complacent. you know what happens when you get complacent? You don't move. And that's what I mean by we got our works to do all over again. We got to show them that we are here. We're here in West Virginia. Our children, our men, women, and children. We got to keep our men out of penitentiary. Because the joke is drugs. And what do those drugs lead to? A short life or penitentiary. Which is the leading one. When we check, drugs is the leading thing. They got our brothers all locked up in that penitentiary. Drugs lead to killing. Killing leads to broke up families. Broke up families lead to what? Migration sometimes. Now, these are all facts. Ain't nothing I'm putting in nothing. You can check this paper. I got it. Anybody want it can get a copy. We're talking about the Hispanics, and this is what's going on. That's why we're tying all this stuff in together today. All right? Well, let me finish. The new metro includes Chicago, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and Atlantic City, New Jersey, where states will lose United States House seats in 2012 elections. It's all about a dollar. Didn't I say it was up there early? It's all about money. You think they care what man they put in their penitentiary? Because the ones that ain't supposed to be going in there, guess what? Black or white, he ain't going. Somebody on his side say, oh no, let that one pass. But you, as families, you got to keep yours out of there. Only way we got to do, black brother, black sister, and no offense to nobody in this room, I'm keep saying that. Black brothers, black sister got to learn to go to the negotiating table. And you know what you do with the negotiating table? We talk. We talk about the issues that's confronting us. We're losing our children. We're losing our men. And now we're losing our women. We talk about genocide again. Okay? Other places seeing rapid Hispanic gains compared to blacks were Lakeland, Florida, Madison, Wisconsin, Oklahoma City, and Omaha, Nebraska, due to the mid-decade housing boom. That was a joke. That attracted many new immigrants seeking work in the construction and service industry. Now you got to give it to the Hispanic brothers. They got it going on. Number one, they got a trade. They have a trade. They work hard. They get up in the morning. They live together. They live together. They know who the head of the household is, and they take care of the household. Here, ain't no little 5-year-old kid gonna run up and talk about they gonna run the house. You want to know why they growing? They got character in it. They been taught in their houses. They know how to come to America. They know how to get housing. They know how to do what they got to do to survive here. And now they are replacing us. You remember the aliens? They said the aliens is coming. The aliens, that movie, that's a crap. Guess who they replaced it? Who's being replaced? Here it is. Who's being replaced? Black folks is being replaced. Mamas quit having them babies. Am I right? Right. 2, you got us black women got caught all over and you want to do China syndrome. 2 kids. Yes, America is hard to live by, but last time I checked in my Bible, he said he fed the sparrows. He can feed us too. I come from a family of 9. I'm a mother of 7 children. The son that died of mine, he was grown. And things happen along the way. I'm not sitting up here talking about ain't nothing happened to Amy. Come on now, I'm a mother of 6 children. Anybody know me? I've had hard times like anybody else. And I traveled extensively. And like I tell you, I have a white daughter-in-law. And I have a grandchild. So I'm not talking about we don't know what, I don't know what's going on. Yes, I do. I know the facts. But my mother taught us love for our man. Even though you don't have it, we still have love. Black women have love for their man. They have that love. But how long must we love? What do you love? Okay? Let me finish it up now. The Census Bureau reported last month that overall Hispanic population jumped from 42% in the last decade of 50.5 million, or 1 of every 6 Americans. Blacks, 1.6 Americans. Blacks increased a modest, listen to the word, modest, that means little bit, listen to me. The Smith, she said. Blacks increased a modest 11% to 37 million, which declined particularly evidence in big cities such as New York, Detroit, Cleveland, St. Louis, and Maryland. Now those are your facts that I just gave you, and we came down from the black man being in prison, and then we gave it to your marriage, and then we gave it to you, the population where the Hispanics now have taken over us in America. Now when you go into these cities, you better know that the population of these cities, they have outgrown you. So now sometimes you have to say, let down your bucket where you are. You all didn't want to run to these colleges and stuff so well. You better know sometimes you got to let your bucket down where you are, because you ain't doing no better if you went to Detroit today. You went to Cleveland today. You went to New York today. Or you in St. Louis. So you might as well decide in your mind that you're going to stay at home. And when you're at home, we all going to have unity. We all going to grow together. We all going to have character. And we're going to try to take care of these problems that all of us has had. Okay? And then we're going to form. And we're going to make West Virginia our home, which is our home. But now that you know all these documented facts, I know we're going to do better. And we're going to work together. Now, may the Lord shine on you, and thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Miss Amy. She did a warrior. How about that? Okay, next we have Miss Ingrid Poole, and she's going to do a selection for us. Hey. Hey. Tell your neighbor I need you.
I need you.
I need you to survive. Because we need each other. Amen?
Amen.
Well, I don't know what to say. I'm used to church, so.
Go to church. Go ahead.
I'm used to church. You need each other. You don't know. You cannot say, I'm not going to need you. My car may stop in front of your house. I'm going to need you to help me. Don't leave me sitting in front of your house. Help a sister out. I might be at your house and not have nothing to eat, brown hat. Will you give me a chicken leg? Would you try? It could be baked. Would you help us out? It don't take much to help each other out. Amen? Okay. I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Oh, I need you. You need me. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will
are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. 'Cause I love you. I need you. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I love you. I need you. We're all a part of God's body. Stand with me. Agree with me. We're all a part of God's body. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. I pray for you. You pray for me. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. You pray for me. I pray for you. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. I pray for me. You pray for you. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. You pray for me. I pray for you. I love you. I need you to survive. I won't harm you with words from my mouth. I love you. I need you to survive. It is His will that every need be supplied. You are important to me. I need you to survive. You are important to me. I need you to survive. Broke it down.
And now, the moment that you've all been waiting for. The man of the hour, the chairman of the new Blackunity Coalition, Mr. John Kenneth Shabazz.
Power to the people.
Power to the people.
Power to the grassroots.
Power to the grassroots.
And black power.
Black power.
And death to white supremacy.
And death to white supremacy.
This is the April 23rd Day of Action and Unity, and I'm going to be reading the mission statement. First of all, I want to also give homage to the ancestors.
Right.
And that is that we stand on the shoulders of our ancestors. Ancestors like Marcus Garvey,
Right.
Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, Mary McLeod Bethune, and other sisters and brothers like Sister Amy Parks, who we had speak to us here today. You heard about Sister Rosa, but today you got a chance to hear Sister Amy. We want to honor her. Whereas serious problems exist in the black or African communities nationally and worldwide, according to our peoples and opinions having been duly considered, these pressing and urgent issues include disunity, apathy, racism, violence, self-genocide, poor health and health care, self-hatred, ignorance, miseducation, white supremacy, gang warfare, military aggression, police harassment and brutality, gentrification, economic underdevelopment, corruption in government, attacks on school system, integration, disorganization, poverty, homelessness, disunity, lack of responsibility, no knowledge of our true history, a conspiracy to destroy the black family and abuse of black women, inadequate land and property ownership, economic exploitation, weak self-defense and military force, Uncle Tomism,
Right.
neo-colonialism, imperialism, and Zionism, neglect of our youth, blight in our communities, disrespect of our elders, political weakness, corrupt politicians, unfair budget cuts, criminal injustice system, political prisoners, prisoner abuse, underemployment, weak agriculture and economic infrastructure, biological warfare and drug trafficking, environmental hazards, attacks on unions, bias in media and press coverage, the Patriot Act, harassment of Muslims, inadequate concern for Africa, post-traumatic slavery disorder, lack of sincere leadership, abuse of religious power, religious exploitation, depression, and moral perversion, bad character, a sick love and fear of our former slave colonial master, and many other obstacles and enemies. Whereas we have collectively reasoned and are resolved to take action in unity and determined to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of our people, recognizing that remaining stagnant and silent as a people is no longer an option. Whereas we have declared in unity that we are dissatisfied and ready for complete and constructive change.
That's right.
Which is revolution.
Right.
Therefore, our demand is for an immediate, non-negotiable demand for power, human rights, justice and equality, and self-determination for black peoples. Our demand is for a nation and a world of our own,
Right.
with Africa as our free and independent motherland. All of the above must be achieved by any means necessary.
Yeah.
All forms of enemy-imposed and self-imposed oppression must be identified, attacked, and neutralized at once. Therefore, on Saturday, April 23rd, we are taking to the streets, the projects, the police stations, the homeless shelters, courthouses, state and city capitals, morgues, jails, and anywhere our people or injustice can be found in order to shake and rattle them to life. Therefore, we must have a new mass awakening of black peoples, the sleeping giant of the planet. We will teach, educate, uplift, confront, expose, recruit, train, operate, and demonstrate like never before. We shall put aside our petty differences, ego affiliations, and denominations for greater goals of unity, solidarity, and nation and worldwide struggle. We shall unite for a common cause. Be it resolved this day, April 23rd, 2011. Up, you mighty nation, you can accomplish what you will. Now, special attention must also be given to the victims of colonialism, corrupt governments, imperialism, Zionism, capitalism, and inadequate concern for the despair of Africa. The injustice of Oscar Grant and the plight of political prisoners and the wrongfully accused from black and indigenous nations must also be a key rallying point. We are outraged that reparations have never been paid to the victims of slavery, colonialism, and genocide. And on April 23rd, we are demanding reparations and a full control of much of this good work, much of this good earth that we can call our own. We are tired of begging the American and European governments for humiliating loans, food stamps, and second-rate education, and poor health care, while everybody else's agenda supersedes ours, and Africa remains on the sideline in world affairs. We are frustrated with a biased media that ignores Africa and the true black condition in a world that has systematically marginalized and crushed the black family. And on April 23rd, we take a mighty stand. Now, I want to give you a little bit of insight on the history of Black Unity Coalition. Black Unity Coalition began in 2007 with, well, basically with my appointment to the Megan Williams case, which is a case that happened down in Charleston, where a sister was kidnapped by 6 Caucasian folks, three males and 3 females that were all related to each other. I got assigned that case by attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz, who was the founder of Black Lawyers for Justice, as well as the chairman of the New Black Panther Party. Some people say, well, why'd you have to work with them? We had to work with them because we wanted to get results. And that's exactly what we got with the Megan Williams case. Because we had legislation on the books in West Virginia to deal specifically with hate crimes, but that legislation had never been enforced. And many of us can get pulled over for driving down the street with a suspended license, but they wouldn't enforce that legislation. So those of us that go through that, we have to make sure that all of the laws are enforced. I want to go a little bit further into my history with the Black Unity Coalition. Malik Zulu Shabazz contacted me in preparation for the march in Charleston. That march was November 3rd, 2007. He contacted me and said, look, we got to leave an organization so that the New Black Panther Party and Black Lawyers for Justice doesn't just come into the state and then leave, and then we have no organization. And we're left to the whims of the races that might be in the state. So we had to organize inside the state and get help from outside the state and regionally as well. So there you have the beginning of Black Lawyers for Justice, the beginning of the Black Unity Coalition in 2007. We claim those that participated in the Megan Williams March, which was 1,200 on that day. We claim that 1,200 is our membership. Now, everybody that came wasn't from West Virginia, but we claim that, as well as the fact that we have representatives throughout the state. I myself am here in Morgantown. We have Sister LaWanna Logan. She's in Fairmont. And we have another brother, Charles Patterson, who represents the Black Unity Coalition in Charleston. Go a little bit further on the Black Unity Coalition. Our objectives are to cultivate youth leadership that can go on and carry on. LaWanna Logan and myself, we're getting up a little bit. So we want to see our young people become leaders, grassroots leadership. We have models. Sister Amy Parks, she came and spoke before us today. I'm inspired by her. And I think the young people should be inspired by all of us. All of us that showed up here today are leaders. And you got to go back into your community and spread the word that we organize. We're organizing to enhance the quality of life for black people in West Virginia. And we believe that if West Virginia is good for black people, West Virginia is good for everybody. So we don't We ain't taking no shorts, bottom line. We're coming out and we're saying that we want a reality of our own. We want home ownership. We want to get rid of the gentrification in our communities. If we pay taxes, we want to be able to get a cut of those taxes so we can have growth and development. We want businesses. We can serve ourselves and employ ourselves. That's to speak a little bit on the gentrification. As a remedy to the gentrification that we have in our communities, some of our legislators, Delegate Charlene Marshall, Delegate Misha Poore, Delegate Tiffany Lawrence, and Delegate Cliff Moore, put through a what is called the Herbert Henderson Office of Minority Affairs. That particular office, I'm going to read a little bit from it, would provide a forum for the discussion of issues that affect the state's minority population. This year they also included women onto that particular bill, hoping that it would be able to get through. I got to give you a little bit more insight on that because the bill ended up getting hung up for the third year in a row in the Senate, and this year the Senate specifically stripped it of its funding. So we have a bill that is a shell of a bill, and we're asking people in the community to sign on to a direct action petition campaign where we would send that petition directly to our legislators and get out in the community and inform people about this particular bill. But I'm going to read on a little bit further. The second thing that the bill would do would be to identify and promote the best practices in the provision of programs and services to minority communities. Now, they use the word minority, but we're really not minorities. We are a majority of people treated as minorities. But number three, review information and research that can inform state policy as to the delivery of programs and services to minorities. 4, make recommendations in the area of policy and allocation of resources. That means that we can get some of that money that is used for other things and we don't get an opportunity to access it. So we got to make our demands or the suggestions or recommendations for those resources. Pursuant to the appropriation of the legislator, we award grants, loans, and loan guarantees for minority affairs programs and activities in the state. 6, provide recommendations to the governor and the legislator regarding the most appropriate means to provide programs and services to support minority groups in the state. That's just a few things that the bill speaks about. But I want to go a little bit further and tell you that I'm like Miss Amy Parks to some extent. I want to reflect back to her because I consider her a mentor. And one of the reasons why I got involved with activism is because if you don't get involved with activism, you end up being a victim of police brutality, of various cuts that are going on in our community, of the disenfranchisement. So what we want to be able to do, again, is develop leadership. And I'm happy to be able to see young, ambitious minds here. I sat back and I listened to the sister speak. And I think Young Ambitious Minds is going to be doing some great things. It makes me smile to be able to see those sisters doing their thing. I don't want to go too much more except for the fact that I want to be able to give thanks to Dr. Malik Zulu Shabazz and the Black Power movement, because it is the movement on the national level that has brought us here today in large part. So I want to give thanks to those people, and I'm not going to keep you long because I know we got some other brothers and sisters that want to be able to say something. And Black Power.
Black Power.
Power to the grassroots.
Power to the grassroots.
And we are the leaders that we have been waiting for.
Let's give it up for Mr. John Shabazz. All right, next we have a young lady who is the new spokeslady for the younger generation. Let's give it up for Leslita Black.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Hopefully I don't want to keep you all too long as well. I'd like to first of all welcome and thank you all for coming out to the first day of Action and Unity. Your support is definitely appreciated. It's not often that you see us as a people peacefully united for our causes. Why is that? This is the year 2011. Our children are growing up with plasma TVs in every room, cell phones at age 7, video games at age 3, and televisions 7 days a week. Why is that? Our children are growing up faster than molasses, with scripted reality as their teacher, yet uneducated because texting and Facebook teaches them all they think they know. Why is that? Even now, my generation looks upon this new breed with questions, such as why are they allowed to talk back when if in my generation we were to smack and we were immediately attacked by all who witnessed before our eyes could stop rolling around from the impact. Nowadays, children have an untamed tongue that is allowed to roam free. Nowadays, children sit in front of the television or stay in grown folks' business. Nowadays, these children are completely out of control. Why is that? Why are they inside and not outside? Why are they dropping out of school at rates too high for the government to release to the public? Why is this new generation oblivious when it comes to simple questions as who are your founding fathers? What is your national anthem? What athletic legends have you the proud pride of representing? What kinds of jobs did your grandparents and parents have growing up? I wonder if they even have enough to ask these questions. I also hope and pray that their parents have not forgotten the answers. It is hard at times for my generations when looking back less than 100 years ago not to allow that burning passion to be transferred into hate. Knowing every day our grandparents got up and picked until their knuckles bled daily. Knowing every day their voice was not heard. Knowing every day they got up and silently did what was needed to survive. The families they had stuck by one another through whatever end may come. It is hard to see our grandparents laden with tire and ready for glory. How do you tell them thank you? How do you say it with the respect they deserve? But we as a people united and did what was needed. Now we are still standing. When traveling from point A to point B became degrading, when education became the highlight of most street rallies, when all those for change started to become extinct, when free life was too costly, our parents united as their parents before them. We as a people took upon one more walk, one more united stand for change. It was done together without knowledge or care to the future results. Hand in hand, together, unity binds all causes. How does a person say thank you? How do you wash the feet of those who walked less than 50 years ago? So I can sit where I want and wherever I want. How do you do that? Equality has forcibly been broken. Society has seen love in multi-million colors. Women and men can walk and be schooled in all fields. We can have all we want, even the country if we see fit. However, we need action for change. Our children need their mothers, they need their fathers. Their manners yearn for their grandparents. Our children are roaming the neighborhoods because their buildings are no longer their homes. It is time to get our households in order. High school diplomas are becoming a thing from the past. Words are overpowering and bullying controls most of school violence. Yet the N-word no longer holds consequence. Young marriage is an old-time religion since the internet came to speed, yet illiteracy is still seen. We are told too dark, yet tanning beds have caused an uproar due to skin cancers. We are told what we cannot do, yet never what we can do. I believe that it is now the time for my generation to take reign. It is time for action. We as a people have always had unity, the type not easily broken. It is time for the man-child to teach his promised land. It is time we talk about Willie Lynch. It is time to take action when we start to get comfortable in the old, newer ways. Time to insist the government build our local parks to entertain our toddlers. Time to insist the teachers educate our children. Time to insist the true inventors, the true architects, the true American history, the true doctors and scientists are taught to our children. Time to get our multiple villages from all over in order and raise our children. This is the time to seize all the opportunities available and discover new ones for others. A time to use the struggles seen on our single mothers. A time to use the strength in our grandparents. A time to use the pride of our fathers and the faith we have always had in our God. To revive our nation. To uplift our fallen without judgment. To reclaim our heritage and improve not only our outlook on ourselves and one another, but also the way we are looked at. It is time we know what is being taught. It is time we educated our children in situations in this world. It is time for us to remember our cause. It is time for us to take a stand like we have done so many times before. It is time to trust the unity and embrace the future. This can be done with action. This can be upheld with unity. This cannot be done with fear, but through faith. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Lolita. Let's Lita for that. Once again, power to the people.
Power to the people.
And we are the leaders we have been waiting for. Well, we got another strong sister. Us brothers got to get on it, right?
Right, yeah.
These sisters up here doing it, right? But we got Miss Luana Logan. I'm honored to be able to introduce my god sister.
All right.
My father told me we've been friends since we was little kids, little babies. So that's why she's my god sister. But she come to the rescue, and she's your coordinator in the Blackunity Coalition. She's new, but she's doing a fabulous job. And we want to upgrade her to chief of staff. She's getting the job done. And at this time, I want to bring her on. Could you give her a loud applause?
Oh, hopefully the battery comes back because I really want you to do this. Okay. Let's see. Let me get you set up, girl. Okay. Thank you very much, John. Let me get it to myself. I wrote this thing, it's called Why God Made Me Black. Lord, Lord, why did you make me black? Why did you make me someone the world wants to hold back? Black is the color of dirty clothes, the color of grimy hands and feet. Black is the color of darkness, the color of tired, beaten streets. Why did you give me thick lips, a broad nose, and kinky hair? Why did you make me someone who receives the hatred stare? Black is the color of a bruised eye when somebody gets hurt. Black is the color of darkness. Black is the color of dirt. How come my bone structure is so thick? My hips and cheeks are so high. How come my eyes are brown and not the color of the blue sky? Why do people think I'm useless? How come I feel so abused? Why do some people see my skin and think I should be abused? Lord, I just don't understand. What is it about my skin? Why do some people want to hate me and not know the person within? Black is what people are listed when others want to keep them away. Black is the color of shadows cast. Black is the end of day. Lord, you know my own people mistreat me, and I know that just isn't right. They don't like my hair or the way I look. They say I'm too dark, I'm too light. Lord, don't you think it's time for you to make a change? And God answers, why did I make you black? Why did I make you black? Get off your knees and look around. Tell me, what do you see? I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the likeness of me. I made you the color of coal from which beautiful diamonds are formed. I made you in the color of oil, the black gold that keeps you warm. Your color is the same as a panther's, known for her beauty and speed. Your color is the same as a black stallion, a majestic animal is he. I didn't make you in the image of darkness. I made you in the image of me. All of the colors of a heavenly rainbow can be found throughout every nation, but when all those colors were blended well, you became my greatest creation. Your hair is the texture of lamb's wool, such a humble little creature is he. I am the shepherd who watches them. I am the one who watches over thee. You are the color of the midnight sky. I put the stars' glitters in your eye. There is a smile hidden behind your pain. That's the reason your cheeks are high. You are the color of dark clouds formed when I send my strongest weather. I made your lips full, so when you kiss the one you love, they will remember. Your stature is strong, your bone structure is thick, to withstand the burdens of time. The reflection you see in the mirror, the image that looks back is mine. Thank you.
According to our schedule at this time, looks like we got open mic.
We got open mic, but we got a drawing for the other things.
Okay, we got a drawing at this time.
All the kids outside.
You want us to go get the kids?
All the kids are playing.
They're all playing.
Ronan and whoever's here.
Okay.
Oh, the baby's gone too. Oh, he's here. He works.
There you go.
Don't tell nobody.
He wins. He wins. We have an open mic right now, so if anybody would like to come up and say a thing or two or three.
I think I remember you. She's in Miss Jones' class too. My daughter's
Now, if this is in the newspaper, this is nothing new for me.
Okay.
Okay? I don't need a paper to read off of either.
all right.
Okay? I'm more used to having this all. It's okay.
All right.
I'm using the mic as nothing new to me.
Right.
Okay, my name is Mr. James Brent Michael Crawford. Okay? I am, unfortunately, a West Virginian. Okay? Now, some things that maybe I can entertain you on for a few minutes that someone other than Amy Parks will understand or perhaps be entertained by. Okay? I left this town briefly when I was a teenager. Okay? I have been associated and involved with Weathermen. Okay, the situation is I have met Black Panthers in New York when I was young. The situation is I was strongly connected and still am with the Hells Angels. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Some of this runs in conjunction with civil rights. Okay, the situation of their objectives, such as the Weathermen, ran in conjunction with Black Panthers and civil rights. Okay, as you may know, maybe some of their actions created results a little quicker. Okay. I don't know if anybody here was supposed to be related to Malcolm X or not. Maybe not. I saw him.
I'm related to Malcolm.
Oh, you're related.
We all related to Malcolm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you could be like John Brown.
Exactly.
To get on the microphone, but you need John Brown.
That's right.
Right.
I know about John Brown.
We don't need no don't need nobody coming in here sympathizing with us. We need somebody that's really ready to do
What
some
does
work.
that mean? I'm not sympathizing with
We need
anybody.
somebody to do some work, not do, okay?
Okay, fine. In any case, I seen him once up there, and the situation is the change at any cost made sense to me. Okay? Any case, something personal, all right, which is a little bit related or a little bit further than where Amy Parks was going. At one time, whether any agree with that or not, the convicts, okay, had most of the power in Moundsville. When it was changed to the privatizing situation, this is complete control about informers and control of the whereabouts of the prisoners. Okay, well, okay, maybe the idea of the convicts having the power. At that time, when I was there, it was segregated and changed, but the idea of the convicts having the power, some may not agree with that, but I think it's worse when the, as you will call it, the plantation owners, this is what you have living in the penitentiary now, takes over completely. At least the cons ran that then. And the final thing that I will state this time, I'm not just here to vent, I sing rock and roll and say plenty of wild things in these nightclubs on a nightly basis. On the situation of personally, I could stand not to hear false rhetoric about what is the absolute control of power in this country. Okay, it's just my opinion. Okay, I'm a strong follower of Michael Moore's interpretation of power in this country. I don't think you can make it any clearer when you put the price tag above the politician's head of all color, how that works. They get the money comes to the corporation runs it. That doesn't mean to give up or quit. I never gave up, and I'm still fighting after all these years. All right, thank you very much.
All right.
What's your name, sir? What is your name?
My name is Mr. James Brett Michael Crawford, more commonly known as Motorcycle Jack at the nightclubs.
All right.
You from Morgantown?
Yes, unfortunately.
Hope Mike's still open.
I want to address something. Thank you.
We'll allow anybody to come in.
I want to address. Thank you, Mr. Michael Moore.
Yeah, I wish it was Michael.
Oh, it was Michael though, right?
James, Motorcycle Jack.
Motorcycle Jack.
That's all you need to know about it.
Motorcycle Jack. I appreciate you coming to the mic. Yes. However, it wasn't false rhetoric. What she actually said was fact.
Not here false rhetoric in the media, okay, in reference to who's actually running this government.
Oh, okay. Well, I misunderstood you, so I do apologize.
Not here.
Okay. Because really, this is now a world of color. White people no longer own this world. They don't have the control that they used to have, especially over us. Especially now, the Hispanics and all the Hispanics have now taken over. Not only taken over in the city, but they also are here in small town USA. If you look at Fairmont, we have a lot of Mexicans and Puerto Ricans. They're coming to town. So yeah, the black family is dying, and we. I said kick your ass. But anyway, anybody else have anything else to say?
Yeah, I want to drink.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Yes, you want to say?
Let the sister over here.
Yes, you want
Let the sister over here, please.
You want to go? Come on.
Let the sister right here go. We'll let you go next. Tell us your name.
My name is Lisa. I live in Fairmont. I just want to say one thing. Is black people as a whole, we need to unify with ourselves before we unify with anybody else. There's no way that we can form relationships with our oppressors. We've been doing it since we've been here. It's not got us anywhere. It's just got the black family broke up. We don't need to fight amongst each other. We need to unify, and we need to kick that person out. So that's just all I got to say. I can't help it. I'm sorry.
came here in France to let you know that I am from Africa,
Okay.
born and raised, and fortunately or unfortunately, the first place I stepped when I left Africa was Morgantown, West Virginia, and this is 20 years ago. I have known John for probably about 5 to 10 years. And as a black person, I have been surprised. See, I came from the village. In the village, everybody is there for one another. But I arrived here, and there was no unity. We were not being there for one another as the way I was used to when I was in the village back in Africa. So I am very appreciative, and I feel really honored to be here to hear that there is something called Black Unity Coalition. This is something we should spread the word around, and I know personally, actually after this I'm going to another program, I know that there are more than Sister Amy said, only 3% of us are here in West Virginia. In Morgantown, we are more than 3%. There are a lot of black people in this city.
In the world, yes. Yes.
I personally know 20 students from my country living here in Morgantown. They are black, they are not white. They are probably not aware of this gathering. So I just came here to say, please spread the word. I will spread the word. We need unity to be able to survive. Again, my name is Nicasio Achien, and I appreciate whoever organized this.
That's the Black Unity Coalition. Remember that. Black Unity Coalition. And we appreciate you standing up because these sisters are lighting up. We got somebody else step up. Come on.
Hi, my name is Kelly Horton, and I'm with the AYM, and it's just a cool group to be in, and I just want to say thank you for having us. I learned a lot, and I'm only 17 years old, but I love Black history. I just did my school, Mr. Norman, at Fairmont Senior High School. I said, it's February, why aren't we doing anything for Black history? He was like, we already did something for Black history. I said, what do you mean? He said, when we had Dunbar and Fairmont Senior come, I don't know if you guys remember, but we had a football game for that. He said, we did that. That was Black history. I said, that was in October. It's February. He was like, well, I'm sorry, Kelly. You can get something together. And he waited until the last minute, kept on spreading me off until we couldn't do it anymore. And I told my teachers, I was like, why aren't we doing anything? Because we were learning about civil rights, but they wasn't talking about the black side of us. And he was like, why are you getting so offended? I said, because some of these kids need to know where it really started. I mean, seriously? I remember at my church, they were just talking about the 4 soldiers that was in the Civil War movement that nobody ever heard about. I mean, and they're originated from West Virginia. He's a native. I forget his name, but... Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And it was just like awesome because the more you learn from it, and you're like, okay, I want to teach it to my kid. And it takes a town to raise a child because Fairmont has raised me. I'm from Chicago, from the South Side. Nobody knew my name. Now I live in Fairmont, everybody knows my name. The governor knows me, the president of the U.S. knows me. I have got letters from Obama, and I'm just happy to say that West Virginia Fairmont has raised me. And I just want to say thank you to you guys because, yes, it is true. It does start in the home. you, like me, I'm not proud of the stuff I used to do, but God has changed me and totally, like my father. God's working with him, and it took so long. Like the community didn't raise him. He let the city, police, hurt him. He let the white men hurt him to where he doesn't want to do anything. He says, I'll follow their rules and keep on going. So I just say thank you, guys.
We thank you, Sister Kelly,
Come down to the mic.
yeah, we got Sister Amy Park. She's gonna light us up again.
Yeah, I just like to say,
Hold on. There you go.
I got big mouth. I just like to say, now, this is my activist. I forgot to tell you I'm an activist, okay? You know what activist is? It makes things happen. So we got things happening in this room right now. I'm gonna back up, John, I can hear you. And you know, things happen. For the sister, the little young sister that says, yes, we do have to start in ourselves. But you know, we down the road. We don't have time to lose time. Everybody needs to be in a struggle. When you're talking about reunification, you know, they can learn like we can learn. I can learn from Motorcycle Jack. Bring it on. Bring it on. Let's hear what you got to say, Motorcycle. You know, Jack. And you know, he does it for us. But we need people everywhere. We need reunification. Yes. We need it. Now, when you want to get private, little sister, let's get in a place of our own. But you can't open the doors and say you got a business meeting, I got a meeting going in here, and all but you can come in. Oh, no. The one thing about Miss Parks, about Amy Parks, is she said one time, I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it again. Whatever you got on TV, on computer, anywhere, I'm not going to take it back. Before I take it back, I add more on to it. Now, we have to learn that. We have to learn. You got to work with everybody. Did you hear the brother from Africa? Yes. Did you hear him? How are we going to bring him in if you shut the door? No, we may not understand what some of them say. We may not understand what they say, just like I told you about the ones on the bus. Yabba, yabba, yabba. We don't know what they're saying. They took our language a long time ago. But how many of y'all stop by and say, we want a Swahili class? Right. Learn your own language. Then when you get on the bus, you know what they're saying. Right. Okay? I learned, because I've been with many colors. Many colors. If you be your own self, and you stand up and have your dignity and your respect, and you're able to stand, like I was saying, you got to stand, then you can go anywhere and do anything. You can say anything you want and be proud of what you're saying. But there's a whole lot of other folks, and let me tell you what ain't here today. They're just plain old scared. When you say black, oh my goodness, I can't go down there. I got a white friend. I got a white mother. I got a white brother. Oh, my teacher is white.
Come on now.
But what about the brother coming over here? He says 20 of us. Yes. We might have some more from the Virgin Islands and anywhere else over there. You know what? How you gonna get them? But if brother came in, he know where there's 20. We got to go find that 20, because the brother here with a list. We're gonna get 20 more. But now, if you want to be unified, now that's what we're talking about, unification. When we coming together, black and white has to come back together. Because we got children in it. Oh, now, honey, you're shaking your head, but I got a grandchild. And I want that little woman to learn what color she is. Okay? Not just mama, you got to see. That's what we after. Okay? You got to bring your seed. Then you get the thing from the statistic about the penitentiary. You black mamas that got them black babies because the man went to prison. He may have a white sister, but he still got the babies. The babies is what you need. Those are the seeds that make our population grow. This is why I took my time and gave you those statistics. It ain't black, hey Jack. He took enough time to come here. white, you become a sister or a brother, you do not have no problems. And let me tell you, sisters, do you know who trained the brothers? And he was trying to tell you that in a nice way. Do you know who training the brothers now in the penitentiary?
Who's training?
Who's training the brothers?
Tell us who's training.
Did you know your brothers, the Muslims, was training the brothers in the penitentiary and keeping them alive?
That's a good thing.
And keeping them alive. Come on, let me tell you what time it is. Let me tell you about the facts of life. And then we turn, as soon as they say black, first you got to know you was black. If you scared of being black, you ain't black. You might be Oreo cookies. Excuse me, brother. We got them too. Oreo cookies. Black on the outside and white on the inside. Now, we got to be able to stand and say, I'm a black woman, I'm a black man, and I'm a black child. Wasn't nothing wrong with what's the other brother? I forgot now. But anyhow, I'm talking too fast. But Malcolm X, that's what he was all about. Two men, two sides. And we got to go there again. Don't be afraid, number one, who you are. Don't be scared of Jack. Because he came in the door. Did he intimidate you when he came in the door?
Nah, ain't nobody scared.
He's not, nobody intimidated us, but at the same time, we never have anything that's our own. They don't always have to be here.
But the door was open, honey. Let me tell you how you do with meetings and public meetings. In a public meeting, the door is open, they come in. You can't bar the door. Katie can't bar the door. But now, if you want a private one, get in your home, go to McDonald's, get in the Wendy's, anywhere, and talk about who you are. Because that's what brothers and sisters, that's what I was saying. Got to come back and negotiate. And then I call you one of them N-words, and you can call me anything. You can tell me how low do you go. That should be done in private. Because we already got issues. We got issues, black people. We got issues with one another. And nobody cannot grow if you don't talk about it. I don't know what you got to say, and you don't know, I didn't know what you had to say, and you didn't know what I had to say till I gave it to you. Okay? So that's what we do as family. We got to stop making them. And you got all your facts and you know why things happen. If you know why things happen, you all about choices. You make some of these choices yourself. Right. When you take that drug, go out there and kill somebody, go to penitentiary, whose fault is it? That's all I'm saying. Now we got to know that. We got to know. He didn't make you do it. I hate to pick on you, Jack, but you did it wrong. I had to say it till I gave it to you. Okay? So that's what we do as family. We got to stop making them, and you got all your facts and you know why things happen. If you know why things happen, you all about choices. You make some of these choices yourself. Right. When you take that drug, go out there and kill somebody, go to penitentiary, whose fault is it? That's all I'm saying. Now we got to know that. We got to know. He didn't make you do it. I hate to pick on you, Jack, but you did it wrong.
I'm used to saying that.
Okay, you know, he in the bar, so I know what he did. And he delivered. His delivery is good. But I want to just say to my people today, because this is one of our first meetings, and we didn't need to know as a black person who we are. Because we got them children, we got them in the family, listen, we're still people, we're black. The code, black, we were born with it, ain't gonna change. It ain't gonna change. But our character did change. And that's what, even what God wants. Before we get ready to leave here, that character got to be in order. If it ain't in order, where you going? Don't talk about hell now. Y'all know about hell. Now, old people don't believe it. Jack, I can go there with you too. If you don't believe in hell, we'll talk about it. You know. Because some people don't.
I think we've already been there.
Yeah, see, me and Jack got to talk later because we can do that. But anyway, I just want to say these few words to you and just to know who we are. And don't get intimidated. You know, and be able to listen to anybody. If they're wrong, they're wrong. You don't have to receive it. You don't have to receive nothing I gave you. But I told you they facts. You can go to the computer and pick them up. I read you one out of Fairmont Times about the Hispanic. It's up to you to believe. Oh, it ain't so. Just because you say it ain't so, mean it ain't so. I just want you to remember that. Some of the young women that's in this room, young people that's in this room, I hope they get a little bit. If they just get a little bit. There ain't very many black folks in West Virginia. That's all you need to know. But be the one that's going to be about something. We are here, and we have to be contented in the state of mind that we're in. That's what makes us uncomfortable when we do things and we got no business. Unification, come together. That's all it means. Come together. I used to travel with white folks all the time. My co-workers that my trainers was the white men and women. We used to ride all over West Virginia, get up at 5 o'clock. We go back in some of them hills and hollows like Madison, the Logan, and all that place. And they look at us real funny. Sometimes we don't have incidents. I can tell you about some of them. I'll tell you about one of them. And they go. And they looked at you real funny. And the white guy that I was traveling with, he said, come on, honey. Let's go home and see about the kids. That kind of stuff brought us through. We're traveling and running over these hills and hollers, bringing in food stamps, information, health care, and all of these other things. We never know what God got for us to do. But what we do, we got to do it the best way we know how. And first we got to take care of people on this earth. And you know if we take care of them on this earth, that's what Mother Nature's all about, then we can take care of us. You. We can be in here. And what makes us all in one accord is God put us all in the same color. Right. Now, if you want to go in privacy now, we can do that. Sister, we can do that. But when that door is open, remember, the brother here come in, he gave you a list. Got 20 of them. Jack got nerve now. He ain't got no nerve. He do it all the time. Comes in the door. He brought information.
I know personally who the ones that are been biased have been running this town.
I know you do. And so do I. It ain't but 12 or 15 families, right? All the rest of us peons.
How do you change that?
How are we going to change it? God is doing it every day. That's why Japan, you got how many thousands in the ground right now?
I lived over there too.
Well, 15,000 just went on. You don't know where they're at. But that can happen in West Virginia with these coal mines. We could just go in the ground, we'd never be seen again, but it's nice knowing you, Jack. Okay? But that's how we got to work together. As long as we're on the top of this earth, unification comes from us. And we got to work it out together. Now, ain't no need starting a duel. Why start a duel? These problems ain't going nowhere until you work them out. We got to work them out. Health care, schools, and all that, education and all that has to be worked out. I was blessed to go and blessed and not be blessed to go to a black school. Look at them now. We don't have a black school.
We need it.
And we need it. Yes. Yep. You may say no, but we need it again. These children need to have a lesson. They need to have a lesson. But it's not happening. So while it's here, we got to do the best we can. As a whole. That's why we got to go to the leadership, whoever's over our schools, over our churches, even though we got black church. If they wrong, they wrong. Work and do what you got to do in the capacity where you can do it. Thank you. All right.
I just want to say one thing in reference to other groups. This is the Black Unity Coalition. And it almost didn't be Black Unity Coalition, it almost was just Unity Coalition. Because some of the brothers and sisters in Charleston had problems with the word black. But on a national level, the brothers stood up and said, look, keep it black. We need it to be black. We need to develop black leadership. It's all right for Jack to come in and speak in open mic, but he can't be a member of the Black Unity Coalition because we live up under white supremacy. We're throwing white supremacy off of us. We want these young sisters here to be leaders, grassroots leaders that can develop other leadership, and we can't do it, giving Jack too much play. We asked Jack to bring in the heads of our enemies, not just to give us information on our enemies, but to bring in the heads.
I want to motivate them so they will fight.
Okay, but we want you to bring in the heads of our enemies, not to just give us information. I'm going to be harder on you than my sister Amy Parks, because I'm younger, okay? You don't have to deal with that if you really want to be down with the Black Unity Coalition.
That's right.
Come on, come on.
All right, Miss Netta.